gentlemen, let's go racing here at Knoxville.
Only the best go 3 abreast.
It is show time at Williams Grove Speedway.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here at Eldora Speedway, it's showtime!
You got them for a rep. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the world of outlaws.
It's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy because, ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime!
Set to do battle for 30 laps. The green flag is waving.
Hello again, it's MRN's Wing Nation Weekend presented by Hefner Racing Products, setting you up for the big race weekend, and well, this is one of the big ones.
Oh, yes.
Oh my golly, we are up to our elbows in sprint car racing, and we are loving it. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post here. When we, a little bit, we're going to talk to the madman, Kerry Madsen, going to see if he can become King Kerry for the second time.
Yes.
Former winner of the King's Royal. So looking forward. Always love when we get a chance to talk to Kerry.
Yes.
Kerry also picked up the win last week at Cedar Lake.
Big win. First win of the year.
Yes, first win of the year, and maybe the dam has broken and Kerry can just go on a tear. Him and Guy Forbrook working on that GoMuddy.com car. So big stuff, and we're going to spend a lot of time talking about the King's Royal. But other things happening coming up. They're tuning up in Pennsylvania, and when they're tuning up, that means one thing. They won't be long, and the World of Outlaws are rolling into town. We had a great visit with Danny Dietrich. They're stoked in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they're feeling good.
They're feeling really good, as they should.
Yeah.
Now, we'll see. You never really know, but I think one of the things that to me is like the telling tale is Kyle Larson is a really good gauge.
Yeah.
And with Kyle racing with him, they were right with Kyle. Danny beat him one night, and then Kyle got the best of Hodnett there at Grandview and ended up getting the win. But if you're with Kyle Larson, that's probably a good gauge of Outlaw Fast.
That's kind of how I was gauging it, too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and so going to be big stuff. So they're tuning up in Pennsylvania. And talk about this in a little bit. Mercer is back. We've talked about Western Pennsylvania sprint car racing. Mercer had been on the sideline just 1 week. They've got a special show, so good to have Mercer back in the fold for this weekend. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to step away. When we come back, the madman, Kerry Madsen, he joins us next.
No matter what or where you race, Hefner Racing Products and HRP Wings has you covered. Built in the USA, HRP is the manufacturer of the original recessed rivet wing, including their premier Shark Wing series, as well as the new Racer Series Sprint Car Wing. Hefner Racing Products wings are available for sprint cars, mini and micro sprints, winged outlaw karts, and junior sprints. HRP is the leader in mule conversions, manufactures and sells a full line of sprint car components, including Nerf bars and bumpers, front axles, precision laser cut chassis building tabs, brackets, tubes, and spuds. HRP has the absolute largest selection of trailer and shop accessories available to sprint car racers. When it comes to setting up your trailer or shop, HRP is the choice for the best in trailer and shop storage and organization accessories. Hefner Racing Products. Visit them and shop online at hrpracing.com.
Grunt style. The American fighting spirit is in everything we make. We are 500 patriots and veterans strong, bringing clothing manufacturing back to the United States of America. Always moving forward, never retreating, never giving up. We are Grunt Style, and this we'll defend. Get yours at gruntstyle.com.
Now back to the Wing Nation Weekend Podcast, presented by Hefner Racing Products.
Thanks for joining us. We're having a ball. We're glad you joined us here as we set up the big race weekend here. Hefner Racing Products. You can find out more from our friends there at www.hrpracing.com. That's hrpracing.com. Joining us on the hotline, fresh off from a Saturday night win at Cedar Lake with the World of Outlaw Craftsman Sprints, drives that Go Muddy car. Drives that Go Muddy car. Easy for me to say. The madman, Kerry Madsen, joins us. Hello, Kerry. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hey, Steve, mate. How are you?
I am well. Had to be great to get back to Victory Lane on Saturday night at Cedar Lake. Congratulations, and especially coming into a big weekend and a big time of the year, that had to be a big win.
Oh, it was great for sure, but at the same time, it was a bit of a relief. It's honestly thought we might have a few runs on the board by now, but don't. But the guys have been working really hard the last bits, and we're really scratching our heads, putting our heads together to get faster and. We've been close, but we're just missing something, and it feels like we just keep going through a workload, and seems like we seem to be in the right direction.
Kerry, we've talked to you a lot this year, even out at Jackson Nationals, about, you wanted to race more. You only have so many races on the schedule, and you're always trying to get Forbrook to go to some more. Lately, you've been running more. You've gotten to run with the Outlaws, some Knoxville. Do you think that led or certainly helped to, getting your car in victory lane and figuring it out, just racing more?
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. But, at the same time, obviously I want to race as much as possible, especially when you're in a great team like this where they show up so prepared every week, and I just show up and drive. So it's a lot easier for me. But at the same time, it's important for us to just do what we can and make sure every time we show up, we're ready and we know we're going to be fast. So I definitely understand that aspect of it as well. But there's no doubt about, you're running as fast as the people you race. So being with the Outlaws and making sure we're on speed and just getting there has been instrumental. And hopefully we're coming good at the right time of year.
For sure. The Outlaws this year, Kerry, just overall, the speed there, the volume of cars, it looks to me, and I'm just an idiot radio guy, okay? Looks to me like there's not only speed, but there's more cars with speed, it seems like now at this point. Is that a fair assessment? It looks like the level of competition is really a good testing ground for you guys.
I find that to be wherever you go, be it the Outlaws or I said this, if you go race in Australia in the prime time of the year or Pennsylvania, everywhere you go, everyone stepped it up so much that it's always tough. I can't think of anywhere where you go where it's going to be an easy run. So and that's why I've always enjoyed racing with the Outlaws. I love the toughest competition I can get. I'm not one of these guys that's too worried about being the what is it, the big fish in the little pond scenario. I love competition, and that's what makes it so special when you get a win like with the World of Outlaws on the road somewhere. So that's what it's all about for me. But there's no doubt, Steve, that it's the divide. If you just show up the racetrack and you're a little off, you're going to have a tough night. So, and that goes for everywhere.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So tonight you're kicking off the Joker's Wild, and then we've got the night before the King's Royal, past champion of the King's Royal. Talk about the excitement going into Eldora, coming off a win this past weekend.
Oh, look, if you're a sprint car person, this is the favourite time of year for sure. I kicked off all great racing all the way through past the Nationals. So always, we work 12 months of the year for this 6-week run, really. You're pretty excited. I always love going to Eldora. I always look forward to it. But at the same time, you got to be apprehensive a little bit, and you make sure you want to go there. You want to do well, so you got to concentrate and cross all the T's and I's, dot the I's, so to speak, and make sure you're on point when you hit the racetrack.
One of the things, these race formats always amaze me, and when you look at a race like the Knoxville Nationals, your qualifying time on Wednesday night needs to be great. Your heat race, everything needs to be great all week long. And while you've got to have speed all week long, to me, the King's Royal, those heat races on Saturday night, to me, that's the most intense 8 or 10 laps in the world. Is that a fair statement? And how important is it to get yourself in a spot to capitalize on that heat race and that transfer on Saturday night?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But at the same time, you can't work yourself up too much about it. Am I in a good heat or in a bad heat? Where am I? It doesn't matter. You just got to. The number one thing is make sure you got a fast car. Make sure you're comfortable. Make sure you know your strengths and weaknesses are. And I feel like if you work yourself up too much, you try to get yourself too buzzed up for one of those heat races. It never really works. To me, what works is make sure you got a good, comfortable car under you, confidence, and just knowing what you can and can't do. And at the same time, you get back to the being quick time at a Nationals or winning a heat race at the King's Royal. They don't pay the money on that. They pay the money at the end of 40 laps. So if you can just work on your car, get yourself a good car, there's always going to be adversity along the way when it comes to Nationals or a King's Royal. There's always something. There's always some sort of little bit of the road that you're going to have to work around. So just get yourself a good car. You'll be right. And a good team. If you just get... To me, if you get too worked up, it never works out. So just you sort of take it one lap at a time. And you know, it's hard to do sometimes when you go to these big races. You know, you walk into the Nationals and there's, you know, tens and 20,000s of people walking around in the streets, or you go to the King's Royal and you look at the crowd, and it's pretty easy to get amped up. But you've got to sort of push that out, and it's still just a matter of, you know, what you feel on the track and the feel and between the crew, and that's what you've got to focus and put in your mind.
For sure. Kerry, talk about driving Eldora. It is a different beast. It races, or at least to me when I raced it years ago, like no other track, all about momentum, high speed. But just talk about, you know, what it takes to win in the car, but even for the driver.
Yeah, good question. Obviously, I mean, obviously you want to go around there as straight as possible with the wide open. Obviously, it gets a little more technical as the track moves up. It gets a little more technical against the wall. And then, you know, once you get in a rhythm, I find that if I get in a rhythm there, I don't know, I just find it more like it's almost like a rhythm, it's like a tune where you can just feed off that. But the reality is, once the track starts to slow down, then you've really got to, obviously the bottom and the middle come into play. So you've got to know what your strengths and weaknesses are, and you know, and be at the right part of the racetrack, and at the end of the race, it's, you know, and it's always different. You never know, but I will say, like, I do enjoy it. I prefer the cushion when it's right against the wall, and that's the fast line. But that's a lot of fun to me. But reality is, the last probably 20 laps on the Saturday night is going to come down to sort of a middle and bottom battle. For sure.
Kerry, I know we're talking.
You know, unless it rains.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. Yeah, exactly. See what happens. That's for sure. I know we're talking month of money. I know we're way out on that. But I saw earlier this week you've got your Australia plans already lined up for the summer season down there. What did I see? The Cricket team is who you're going to drive for this summer down there?
Yeah, changed teams. They're with Cricket Motorsport. They've been in the sport in Australia a long time, and I mean, probably fielded the first-class team down there for a long time, run by Shane Cricky, now run by his brother Ryan Cricky. So, you know, to not have a drive down there and to be able to get into something like that, pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to you know, getting this little stretch over, and pretty excited about what they got going on. And we'll probably start in December, and I think we're going to do the World Series, and then whatever, all the other big races in Australia. So I've known Ryan for a long time, and I don't know, I'm pretty excited. I think it's a great opportunity for me, actually.
Great opportunity indeed, but a lot of racing, a lot of money to be made between now and then as well. Kerry, always a pleasure to chat with you. Yeah, indeed. Always a pleasure to chat with you. Thanks for the time. Best of luck this weekend at Eldora, and then on throughout the balance of the season.
All right, thanks, Dave. Thanks, Erin.
There we go. The Madman, Kerry Madsen. So Kerry Madsen, the Madman's going to remain calm. I love that. And that's the thing, you know, his nickname, I mean, he's such a laid-back guy, and then he puts the helmet on.
I was going to say off the track.
Off the track,
yeah.
Exactly. And there's a lot of them that are that way. You know, I mean, Joey Saldana's another one that comes to mind. Becomes just
even Donnie.
Donnie, yeah. I mean, but it's but laid back. Those heat races to me, I love watching like Dirt Vision because they get the driver coming off the scales and their eyeballs are usually about 6 inches across.
Yeah. I love watching when they come to the green in the 1 and 2. Like, you know, there's just all hell's about to break loose.
Yeah, because your whole deal can come or go in that start of that race. Because once you get up to speed, then it becomes a tough track, especially in the heat races as it's up around the top. As Kerry said, it's lately, and as Dave Blaney told us, lately getting the bottom to work is pretty important too. But in those early laps, an 8-lap heat race,
they're bouncing off the fence.
Leading off from turn 2 on that first lap is not a bad spot to be.
Yes.
You know, and with a full head of steam. So let's talk a little bit about it. It is $50,000 to win. It's the 35th annual running of the race. The first Kings Row was 1984. Big shocker, Steve Kinzer was the winner on this one. Tonight's the Joker's Wild. Tomorrow night, Friday, is the night before the Royal. Saturday is the Kings Royal. Looking at the winners on this thing, 18 different drivers have won. And with maybe 1 or 2 exceptions, this list is in or will be in Knoxville Hall of Fame.
Yes.
I mean, 7 times Steve Kinzer has won, 4 times Donnie Schatz has won. He's won the last 2, by the way. Jack has won it 3 times. Sammy's won it 3 times. Doug Wolfgang is a 2-time winner. Dave Blaney is a 2-time winner. Joey Saldana is a 2-time winner. Even the single race winners, Don Kreitz Jr., Bobby Davis Jr., Hollywood Herrera, Dale Blaney, Mark Kinzer, Jason Sides, Darren Pittman, Tyler Walker, Brad Sweet, Kerry Madsen, and Shane Stewart. 18-car starting lineup. That's a pretty good field of race cars right there.
Absolutely.
Amazes me. Wins by state. 10 drivers have won from Indiana. Of course, Steve Kinzer kind of leads that way. 6 natives of Ohio, or 6 home staters won. 5 from Tennessee. That's Sammy and Bobby Davis and Sides. 4 from North Dakota. Schatz is hogging that category. 2 from California, Oklahoma, and South Dakota. This one kind of is interesting. 1 from Arizona, 1 from Australia. That's Kerry. Yep. And 1 from Pennsylvania. Don Kreitz is the only Pennsylvania driver to win it. So, but of course, with Schuhart and Allen and guys like that, that Pennsylvania number might get a little workout too. So it's one of the big ones, one of the big 3. World of Outlaws, the King's Royal. Dirt Vision has the pay-per-view starting tonight with the Joker's Wild, then the King's Royal, or the night before the Royal and the King's Royal. It is going to be an epic weekend out in Rossburg, Ohio. Oh, my gosh.
And they know how to party. Those campers.
I've heard that's the case.
That's one of my favorite things about that race. The first time I went, and the motorhomes, as far as you could see, it looked like a cup race back in the early 2000s.
Last year, they had the biggest crowd in the history of the event.
Yeah.
I mean, so who's to expect anything? Yeah, who's to expect anything less? That's for sure. Other racing action around the country. Our friends at MOA, they've got a doubleheader. Friday, they're in Illinois at Lincoln Speedway, and Saturday, they're over at Tri-State Speedway in Hobstadt, Indiana. Friends of the King of the West, Saturday at Petaluma. Now, the King of the West series, they're going to run this week at Petaluma, and then next week, they're going to Ocean Speedway. I don't know. I'm someone at this table is going
and
there.
It's not me.
Exactly. Yeah, I can't wait to get out there. I'm going to see within 10 days. I'm going to be watching California sprint car racing.
That's cool.
Man, that's been something I've wanted to check off the list, and I'm going to do it next weekend. That's for sure. But this week, the King of the West is in Petaluma. Weekly 410 racing this weekend. Lernerville on Friday night. River Cities has the NOSA Sprints. Williams Grove has the tune-up event. Okay, Saturday, listen to this list. Butler, Devil's Lake has NOSA. Knoxville's back and running, of course.
Yep.
Okay, Lincoln Speedway, they have twin features. They've got a makeup feature.
Oh, yeah.
So they've got twin features. Mercer. This is the Mercer Summer Nationals, okay? We've talked about Mercer being on the sidelines, and really Western Pennsylvania, it's been good because Pittsburgh's Pennsylvania Motor Speedway, Sharon Speedway has stepped up. A number of tracks have jumped in. Tri-City Speedway, I think, is Tri-Cities has picked up a day or two along the way. But we're back to Mercer, which was the standard Saturday night track. I have no idea what's going on at Mercer, okay? Here's what I do know is if y'all are sprint car racing in Western Pennsylvania, you better go fill the place.
Yes, go support it.
That'll determine what's going on, and there's all kinds of stuff happening there, but it is the Mercer Summer Nationals. Can't wait to see what sprint cars do around Mercer again. Ohio Valley Speedway, Port Royal Speedway, St. Francis County Raceway, and you think that's the end. It's not the end, okay? When we get done Sunday, when we wake up with the King's Royal hangover, there's 3 races Sunday night. 410 races. There's some other 360 stuff as well. Baps Motor Speedway, Red River Valley Speedway has the NOSA Sprints, and Tri-City Speedway in Franklin, Pennsylvania has sprint cars.
Wow.
Yeah, wow is the word. It is epic. So it is going to be great. Now, if you're able to get to these races, get to these races. Okay, that's a no-brainer. I think Friday, tomorrow night, I'm going to USCS, as in Traveler's Rest. So I'm going to catch up with Pete Walton and the gang. See what's going on with Morgan Turpin and Terry Gray and all my buds there. So if you can get a chance to go to a race, go to a race. If you can't, just go to wingnation.com, and our broadcast calendar has all of the pay-per-view races. So fantastic. Oh, my gosh.
Just a link away.
Just a link away. So great stuff. Now, when you're out at the racetrack, tweet your seat. We got to do that on our Twitter machine, okay? And also, we like to mention at this point our friends at Hefner Racing Products. And I was looking at some of the stuff. I went to www.hrpracing.com, and we talk about sprint cars and this and that and late models and everything. I was looking at their collection of shop equipment.
Yeah.
Just what for your race shop. And it don't matter if you got a wing on your car or fenders on your car, whatever it is, you need an organized race shop so you can find stuff. Just go to Hefner Racing Products, www.hrpracing.com, and look at their shop supplies. It's unreal what they have there. Man, they can have your shop ship, shape, and all set to go. So you walk in there and you need a Zeus button, you'll know right where they're at. So, and Lord knows, if you need a Zeus button, you need to know where they're at.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We don't want to go with a lost Zeus button. So, but hrpracing.com, that's hrpracing.com. This weekend on Saturday morning on MAV TV, David Gravel joins us, 8:30 and 11:30 Eastern Time. It's Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit on MAV TV. We'll talk to you Saturday morning.
This has been the Wing Nation Weekend Podcast, brought to you by Hefner Racing Products. The Wing Nation Weekend Podcast is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.